Hi, Anthony.
Hey, hey, Maria. I was going to say good morning, but here we are. It's
Well,
good day.
it's a good day indeed. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you doing?
Good, good. It's a lovely day out there. So you're topping my day with this live session. I love talking to you. So shall we focus on the today's topic? We
Yes,
ask each other to discuss COVID.
yes, definitely. COVID,
COVID.
discussing COVID and people
Oh,
returning back to work in this era. It's like really a challenge for people to return to work and feel safe.
indeed. So
So,
let's see how we can help people feel better, safer, what we can do for organizations as well to make them feel more comfortable. Shall we mention 45,005?
yes, definitely. Mentioning the 45,005, it's like a really safe way for people to get back to work, to establish it, and to have their employees, their customers, their suppliers all feel safe so that everybody knows that they're returning to a safe environment. It's like that they need to map out a strategy. And when you map out the strategy, one of the things that we do is like, map out the strategy. I mean, it's like if you make umbrellas, then you make umbrellas. And what we do is map out strategies for you getting back to work. And we help you to help your people and everybody to get back to work and feel safe.
Brilliant. Shall we state the first things first? Guys, we'll be talking briefly about 45,005, which is a ISO standard. It's guidance. It's not a certifiable standard. It's good guidance. Government regulators and all the professional bodies have issued guidance on their own, and ISO, the International Organization of Standardization, has actually issued last year. It did it last year. Guidance on safe work in that COVID environment. So it's a single generic set of guidelines that complements uh, guidance already issued by governments and all the professional organizations and bodies. So, this said, Anthony yesterday suggested that we should also tell you that the ISO 45005 is currently made available to you on the ISO official website and COVID resources. Free views, so you can read it in English and Russian, interestingly. So you can read it, use it, and make your environment safer to everyone. Isn't it an interesting issue to discuss, Anthony?
Yes, it definitely is. I mean, one of the things, like I said, is whenever people have the opportunity to look at this and to review it and go step by step from how people can come back to work, but also if you've never closed, how you can make it safer or how you can make it safe for customers and people coming in. So it's a step by step strategy of exactly what it is that you need to do uh, to have this environment be uh, um, prepared, so that it's COVID safe. So if you're going over it and you're looking at like, and a lot of times, one of the things you can look at is your supply chain. And if you look at like that the whole way through from the customer or from the time when you get an idea and how you take that step by step and how that happens, how people interact and work with each other in the office, like if there are going to be different sections, how people can wash their hands or how they can stay safe and how everybody is going to operate in an office situation. So this is like really something to look at.
Absolutely. And the standard outlines the resources that organizations should devote to fight the pandemic, as well as the communication. It establishes what needs to be communicated, how it needs to be communicated, whom to. So it's, as I say, a comprehensive set of good practices that you can use to make your workplace much safer. Anthony and I read the standards. We went through thoroughly, and two aspects actually made us wish to talk about COVID safety today to you. We were impressed first by the fact that, and I'm going to share my screen, aren't I, Anthony?
Yes.
The fact that the standards walks you through almost every possible scenario in case you have detected either suspected or confirmed COVID-19 cases. So here what we can see, we have three possible scenarios. It may happen, for instance, in a physical workplace. So ISO gives you guidance on the appropriate PPE, on how to isolate people, how to make them return safe home. It gives us also testing advice and good practice on how to avoid co-workers, other interested parties to be affected by the pandemic. So it helps us think about how to communicate with health authorities, what kind of measures, etc. And probably most importantly, the standards also helps us identify which issues may require further national or local legal or regulatory advice. Anthony,
Yes.
would you like to?
Yes.
Hmm?
Sure. I mean, one of the keys is definitely like being able to, like I said, to establish different work areas and how people are going to operate within those areas. But when we look at the list, we have like the different things, um, isolating people or people safe return home, testing a device, like what to do if we suspect something, how people are tested when they enter work. Are their temperatures taken? Are we doing contact tracing? So we need to be like aware of like everything that's happening in there, where we're getting our supplies. Are people going out for lunch? How are they coming back? Who's coming into the office? And when people come into the office, what is it that they're doing and how is it that they're interacting with the people that are there? Is there just like a drop off station and a pickup station? But for whatever business, for every business, there are different scenarios. And one of the keys to this is that no matter what type of business you have, this is a generic idea that works, and you have to adapt it to the office and to the setting that you have for any kind of business, whether it's a restaurant or a logistics company, or you're just like importing and exporting things. No matter what kind of business you're in, a law firm, it doesn't matter that there's a solution here for you for getting back to work. And recently, I've talked to so many different people, and that's the biggest thing that's on their mind. It's like everybody's like excited. Everybody wants to be going back to work. The vaccine has been rolled out. Some people are getting the vaccine, some people are not getting the vaccine. But the key is like, how do we bring everybody back in a safe way? It has a great psychological impact because a lot of people, like if you're in a city where there's public transportation or if people are driving, like what exactly is it that they are required to do to come back to work, and how can we ensure that so that not only we are ensuring that each person is safe, but everyone feels comfortable and everybody can work in that environment.
Absolutely. My attention was seriously attracted by clause 6 in the guidance. Basically, it talks about psychological health and well-being and identifies potential issues coming from an instance from uncertainty or about what people think about what is expected from them, how long arrangements can last, what the impact on the pay may be. All those issues can generate uncertainty and therefore psychological health problems. So the standards helps us identify any potential issues and work around to find a way to prevent any potential damages to people and to the organization.
Yes, this is definitely key. It's like to look at it, and I think that more than anything, the psychological impact. But also, one of the keys that we have here is it's been like maybe a year since a lot of places closed down, and now they're restarting. How do they reboot, and how do they get back to normal in their office? Because things that you haven't thought of in the past will be things that you have to think about now, and those things include like the restarting. Because when you were doing this in the past, it was like your business had been up and it had been running and operating. So there was no reboot. But now it's almost like you're walking back in, you're coming back from home. So there's a big transition to bring everything back, to bring all the people back safely, but also to look at some issues that you hadn't had to look at before, because now you're starting up from a different point than where you were at before.
The standard doesn't forget new starters. There is several clauses and subclauses helping new companies to enter the market safely as well. So, as we say, it's a comprehensive guidance on how to approach back to work, new openings, or rebooting your normal activities in a safe way. So, so I'm so pleased we decided to choose this topic for our today's chat, Anthony.
I
Mm,
am too. I
yeah.
mean, this is like, I think that from all the things, this is definitely the most important thing to do, is to look at it and to look at exactly what people are going to do, what the impact is. And it's, people are like, I'm sure people have questions about like coming back to work. And as you said, it's about their pay, it's about their job security, it's about being able to come back and feel safe in the environment. So when we're working in this environment, we're just trying to see like, oh yes, let's get everybody safe. The idea here is that there's an established policy and procedure. And when there is an established policy and procedure, that's when everybody feels safe and comfortable, because we know what people have to do. We know like the steps that each person has to go through when they're coming back from when they come back to work. This is if it's like what testing do they have they been vaccinated, have they not been vaccinated, what categories do we have to put them in on a day-to-day basis? Is there like a, if you've been like had a 24-hour period, or from the last time that you've been tested. But definitely the key is that to make a plan, plan, do, check, act. So if you have a plan and everything is written down, everybody knows. Everybody is giving a copy of the plan. This is our plan. This is the prescription that we have, and this is the way that we will be doing things when you come back. If you go into this section, this is what you need. If you go into that category or this category, if you're traveling throughout the office, if you're interacting with customers, how this is all set up, but everything needs to be set up in a way that people are comfortable and they have the knowledge and they know about it. But if there is any uncertainty in it, that there is a risk analysis, and that you can go back at any point in this process and be the person to say, hey, this isn't working here, or how do I do this? But everybody has to be able to have a voice in the process. And by that, I mean a voice where they can come back and they can, if something is not working, or if there's something they don't understand, they need to be able to address it. But certainly, if people are at work, we're adapting the plan while they're at work there. But if people have not returned to work, then we want to get the plan out to them before they return to work.
Indeed, and as you say, communication is key to success in this case. I understand that highlights the importance of communication with workers and their representatives. This said, shall we tell people that we actually have a more detailed webinar on ISO 45005 COVID pandemic in April? It's going to happen on April 15th. So we are very pleased to invite you guys to join us for a talk at about 45-50 minutes. So please feel free to register with us. It's a free talk. We'll go further into the depth of standard. And as well, we should maybe suggest that it's a very good idea for organizations to think about implementing the new ISO 45001 standard, which is the newest standard in occupational health and safety. As I said at the beginning, 45005 COVID pandemic is not a certifiable one, it's guidance. However, it's highly recommended to have 45001 occupational health and safety, which is going to help organizations go in depth with 45005. Am I right, Anthony?
You're exactly right. And one of the keys to there is that when people do 45,001, the 45,001 is right in line with OSHA. And this is something that comes into line with like everybody at every job, no matter what you have to do, that there are certain regulations and rules that are prescribed for every profession. So this is something that everybody has to do for that is OSHA is at some point that in your job that your company, whether it will affect their insurance and everything. Again, it's one of those things where you have your policies and your procedures and everything is written down and this is how we act. And everybody knows it's not like, that sometimes I've worked with companies that are very large and they didn't have things written down. And then it came to a certain point where people want to know, how do you do your business? What is your OSHA plan? What is your ISO 45001? And this is exactly what it is. Like when we have to have like our health and safety standards, this is like an outline of like exactly what you do. And then everything would be written down and it can be adjusted or changed and adapted. And now it's like with COVID, or whether you're not having COVID, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, everybody will have forgotten about COVID and we'll be on to the next thing. But one of the keys is that, in my estimation, every 10 years, something happens. It's like in 2008, we had like the financial collapse. Before that, we had like the 9/11. And now it's like we have COVID. So, what will happen 10 years from now? And when you have that continuity and when you have things written down, you have a better place to operate from. So, whether it's like you have a COVID plan, who knows? Like, is there going to be another COVID? I mean, viruses are coming. No one saw this coming. And so, if we have COVID, if it ever happens in the future, God forbid, we have a plan in place, right? So
Indeed.
if it's like whether it's COVID or whether it's the next apocalypse, we have a plan in place to keep business going, to keep people safe.
Actually, Anthony is going to elaborate further on occupational health and safety tomorrow during our webinar on ISO 45001. So feel free, guys, to join us tomorrow. Anthony is going to walk you through the standard, and I will ask you to resolve 3 practical scenarios or these scenarios to see how prepared we are to meet further requirements for health and safety under the ISO standards.
Exactly. And one of the things, it's like this is a good practice and a good opportunity for you to evaluate your business and to see, is this something that you need? And 9 chances out of 10, this is something that every business needs. I don't know what that one chance would be that you would need it, but I would say 99% of the time that this is exactly what you need, is that you have to have like uh, your plan. Your business can't just operate on a whim. Everything operates with a purpose. And when you have it written down, and you have it written down from start to finish, it works better. So, and especially when we're talking about the 45,001 and the occupational health and safety. This is like one of the most important things that people have to work with, and it is something that, like, whenever you're doing it, again, it's like you start from like the concept through to the customer, and if there are any returns or anything like that, that there's always like a risk analysis, and there's always an opportunity to update your plan. So it has to be like a thorough plan.
Brilliant. So, shall we repeat one more time that we invite everyone to join us and ask for marketing to take over for us? Because I think that we might be done in here. What do you think?
I think we are done in here. And I think it's been wonderful. And I hope that you will join us when we talk about 45,001.
Anthony, thank you very much. See you tomorrow. And guys,
Thank you.
thanks for visualizing us again, being with us. See you tomorrow, I hope.
All right. All right.